Yeah, Blue Hill at Stone Barns is a restaurant, a farm, and an education center that's 20 miles outside of the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and it's on an old Rockefeller estate, so it's 80 acres of this also gorgeous, in some ways pasture land that we raise vegetables on 8 acres of outdoor land and 23,000 square feet of greenhouse growing, and 22 acres of pasture, and then this education center that teaches adults and children about food. And then when there's this restaurant, of course, where I'm the chef and the co-owner with my brother and my sister-in-law. So it's just this like little community of food that closes makes a shortened food chain right outside of New York City. And that's kind of an experiment in eating locally and eating seasonally and sustainably and whatnot. Well, there's a lot. I mean, there's sort of, a few different ways into this. I mean, there's the casual visitor, which I consider like a big educational opportunity, which is the couple or the family that comes, walks around the property, sees some animals, asks some questions, goes to the cafe, and ends up getting an experience that is Stone Barns light, but just as effective because they have a connection all of a sudden with food and with the culture of agriculture. There's quite a bit of culture that's going on around this, and so that's one way. It is like there's 1,000 points of light for Bush, whatever, and there's like 1,000 points of entry for Stone Barns, and that's one of them. And then on the other end, there's very formal education classes for adults and for children, public school kids and private school children that has a sort of formalized syllabus even, that takes them through a little bit in more depth what we're doing. And then there's everything in between. I like to think that, and not in a haughty way, but I like to think that the restaurant is an educational experience too, in the sense that if you came to Stone Barns and you walked around the beautiful landscape and you had some type of interaction with a farmer or with a vegetable or with an animal, and then you came later in that day and had dinner, you would enjoy the food in a way that you couldn't experience in most restaurants, and in that way, it's educational. I mean, it's pleasurable and it's hedonistic and it's exciting, but educational because if you're a curious person and you're an interested person and you like those flavors, you're going to go after getting them again, and that would mean visiting your farmer's market and trying to replicate something that you experience there in your home and whatnot. So anyway, lots of opportunities to educate and to inspire, I would hope. Well, it wasn't me. I mean, it was a group of people, right? I mean, it was some people who work with Mr. Rockefeller who were intent on seeing this return back to agriculture. I mean, Mr. Rockefeller used to milk cows in the middle of what is now the dining room. So there's a real history there, and to return that seemed, an intoxicating possibility, especially at this time in our world where food, the consciousness about food, is becoming more realized for people across the board. And so to have this asset, this place that's right outside of New York City where it's completely accessible and it's really a public use facility is a good opportunity to talk about these issues and to display them in real life. So, there was a group of people who were interested in seeing that come to fruition, and luckily it did.